Hello, my dear students. Welcome you all to Sri Jain Rank Zone classes. I am your mentor and your friend for the subject biology, and I will be taking the zoology part, that is animal science. My dear students, in the previous lecture, we have completed about different types of non-infectious diseases, and now under the same category of non-infectious diseases or non-communicable diseases, we are going to discuss about cancer. So starting from cancer, what is cancer? It is an uncontrolled, abnormal and excessive mitotic division of cells. Whenever a cell, which is a normal cell, it undergoes an uncontrolled, abnormal and excessive mitotic division. So that is known as what? That phenomena is known as what? Cancer. Crab. In zodiac signs, crab is cancer. Crab is equivalent to cancer. Study of cancer is known as what? Oncology. Study of cancer is known as what? Oncology. This abnormal, undifferentiated cells are called cancerous cells. The cells which are formed after repeated mitotic division. So these undifferentiated mass of cells, they are known as what? Cancerous cells. Cancer, it can also be called as neoplasm. Neo means new, plasm means the protoplasm or the cell, mean it defines new growth. So tumor or neoplasm is basically cancer. The scientific term neoplasm is given to define cancer. This is the medical term. Types of tumor: benign tumor. Benign tumor, it is capsulated, localized to the site of origin. So benign tumor is capsulated and it is localized to the site of origin, and it does not spread to other parts of the body. So any tumor, any overgrowth which is capsulated and it is localized to a particular part of the body and it is not undergoing the distant spread. Okay, locally it is involving the tissues, but it is not undergoing the distant spread. That is known as what? The benign tumor. It is not metastatic. Metastatic simply means what? Distant spread. It is non-malignant and it is non-cancerous and it is non-invasive. So benign tumor is non-metastatic, non-malignant, non-cancerous and non-invasive. Like for example, bone tumor, osteoma. Osteoma is a benign tumor in which the part of the bone undergoes a overgrowth, which is non-metastatic, non-malignant, non-cancerous and non-invasive. Okay, osteoma. Muscular tumors, they are known as what? Myoma. Lymphoid node tumor is known as what? Lymphoma. So benign tumors, they are capsulated, they are non-metastatic, non-malignant, non-cancerous, non-invasive, like bone tumor, osteoma. Then muscular tumor, myoma or leiomyoma, depending upon the type of muscle it is involving. Lymph node tumor, lymphoma. Now malignant tumor. Malignant tumor or malignant means harmful. So benign tumor and malignant tumor, these are the two broad categories in which we classify the cancer or the tumor or neoplasm. Malignant tumor, some of the cancerous cells, they detach from the site of origin and spread to the other parts of the body through hematopoietic spread. Hematopoietic spread means through blood, and lymphatic spread means lymph. So either they spread through blood, which is known as what? Hematopoietic spread, and the other one is the lymphatic spread through lymph. The cancerous cells, they form fresh colonies after being shifted to the new region, a new part. This is called metastasis or secondary growth of cancer. So this is the secondary growth or metastasis of cancerous cells. This type of tumor is called metastatic or cancerous tumor. So this type of tumor is known as what? Metastatic tumor or cancerous tumor. It is invasive, mean it involves the other organs. All malignant tumors, they are cancers. All malignant tumors, they are cancers. Understood? Now, coming to next. Cancer is divided into three classes. Cancer is basically divided into three classes. Carcinoma. Carcinoma is basically tumor which originates from skin or epithelial tissue. So carcinoma is a type of tumor which involves skin or epithelial tissue. Understood? Next, it involves or it includes different categories or different types like brain carcinoma, oral carcinoma, gastric carcinoma, colon carcinoma, lung carcinoma, cervical carcinoma. Brain carcinoma which involves brain, then oral carcinoma which involves the oral part of the body, mean buccal cavity and other oral tissues. Gastric carcinoma involves the part of the stomach or alimentary canal. Colon carcinoma which involves colon. Then lung carcinoma which involves lungs. Cervical carcinoma which involves cervix in females. Okay. Adenocarcinoma which involves gland tumors like salivary gland or the other glandular tumors, and breast carcinoma. Understood? Carcinoma is most common type of tumor, around 85%. Okay, so carcinoma, it constitute or it is the most common type of tumor which constitute about 85%. Now, I would like to bring notice about the benign tumor and the malignant tumor differences. Benign versus malignant. Benign tumor, it remains confined. It spreads. Rate of growth is slow in benign tumor. In malignant tumor, the rate of growth is usually rapid. In benign tumor, there is no latent stage. In malignant tumor, there is a presence of latent stage. Metastasis, no metastasis in benign tumor. And metastasis is present in malignant tumor. It is non-cancerous and it is cancerous. Okay. Now, breast cancer in female and prostate cancer in males, they are the most common cancers in the world. Lung cancer accounts 31.1% of all cancer death in men and 25% in women. So breast cancer in females and prostate cancers in males, they are the most common among the world. Lung cancer in males is more prominent than in females. Cervical cancer in females and oral cancer in males, they are most common in India. In India, the most common type of cancer for males is oral cancer and for females cervical cancer. In world, the most common type of cancer for males is prostate cancer and females breast cancer. Melanoma, it is a type of carcinoma. These are cancerous growth of melanocytes, a type of skin cell. So melanoma, it is a type of carcinoma only, which involves the pigmentary cells or the melanocytes, which are the type of skin cells. Then comes sarcoma. Sarcoma is the tumor of mesodermal tissue. It involves the mesodermal tissue like bone cancer, osteosarcoma, muscle cancer, myosarcoma, lymph node cancer, lymphosarcoma. So sarcoma, it involves basically the mesodermal tissues, osteosarcoma, bone cancer, myosarcoma, muscle cancer, lymph node sarcoma, lymphosarcoma or lymph node cancer. Then comes leukemia. Leukemia, it is the abnormal, unregulated proliferative growth of WBCs, leukocytes, which is also known as blood cancer. This is the cancer of white blood cells. It is of two types, acute myeloid leukemia and chronic myeloid leukemia. When actually it is of four types, acute and chronic myelogenous leukemia or myeloid leukemia, which involves abnormal production of blood cells, especially the WBCs, white blood cells, and acute and chronic lymphoid type or lymphoid leukemia. Okay, which involves the abnormal proliferation or production of the other blood cells like RBCs, like B lymphocytes, T lymphocytes, and all. So chronic myelogenous leukemia (CML), it is a fatal cancer which occurs mainly due to reciprocal translocation between chromosome 22. Chromosome 22 is known as what? Philadelphia chromosome, and chromosome 9. So there is a reciprocal translocation, mean one part of chromosome 22, which is Philadelphia chromosome, gets attached to the chromosome 9, but it gets inverted. So before attachment, the end of or the attaching part of the 22nd chromosome, it gets flipped, it gets reversed, okay, and it attached to chromosome 9. So it is also known as translocation between 22 9. Burkitt's lymphoma, this is a type of leukemia which is produced due to the reciprocal translocation of 8 and 12. Okay. Usually the short arm of Philadelphia chromosome, it involves in the reciprocal translocation and it forms or it gets flipped to attach on the chromosome number 9. Okay. Then in Burkitt's lymphoma, this type of leukemia in which the chromosome 8 attaches to the chromosome 14. Understood? According to rough estimate, about 8 lakh cases of cancer are detected in India every year, out of which 4 lakhs come to death. So out of 8 lakhs cases of cancer are reported every year, and out of which 4 lakhs, they actually are under the fatal condition when they come to death. Now, normal mechanism of body growth. What is the normal mechanism of body growth and what is the altered mechanism of body growth in case of cancer? Okay. So, the cancer cells, they differ from normal cells, as the normal cells, their division is regulated by a special type of genes known as what? Proto-oncogenes. So in normal cell, division is regulated by these proto-oncogenes and it is suppressed by tumor suppressor genes. So the cell division is regulated by proto-oncogenes and it is suppressed by tumor suppressor gene. And there is a third gene which is known as what? Apoptotic gene. As apoptosis is programmed cell death. So the normal cell division is regulated by proto-oncogenes and it is suppressed by tumor suppressor gene. The third gene is the apoptotic gene, which is responsible for programmed cell death. So proto-oncogenes, they regulate the division, and the tumor suppressor gene, they suppress the division. So this is a cell which divides to form these multiple cells. So proto-oncogene, they will regulate the cell division, and tumor suppressor gene, it will lead to, a negative feedback to suppress the rate of division. So in this way, the proto-oncogenes and tumor suppressor gene, and along with apoptotic gene, they help to maintain the equilibrium between the cells and their progeny. There is an important term, contact inhibition. Which says whenever a cell divide, and reaching to a certain number, when it touches the boundary of other cell, it stops its division because of this contact inhibition. Because of contact inhibition, cell stops uncontrolled division. Okay, whenever a cell is dividing and it is making progenies, so when progenies number it reach to a sufficient level, then the moment the cells divide and they occupy a particular area, and when they touches the boundary of the other cell, then it is a signaling mechanism which provides the contact inhibition that okay, now they got to know that they don't have to divide. Okay, so this is the contact inhibition, which is a normal process which regulates the cell division. Understood? Now next, causes of cancer. Causes of cancer, there are many agents which are responsible for cancer, be it chemical, physical, biological. Okay, so we will discuss one by one. Chemical or physical agents. Chemical or physical agents that cause cancer are known as what? Carcinogens. They are known as what? Carcinogens. Carcinogens. So carcinogens are the chemical or physical agents which causes cancer. Depending on their mode of action, carcinogens fall into the following main categories. Agents that cause alteration in the genetic material of DNA, resulting in oncogenic transformation. Oncogenic transformation means conversion of proto-oncogenes to oncogenes. So conversion of proto-oncogenes into oncogenes requires mutation. So this alteration of genetic material or DNA, it can be, signaled, or it can be processed by any chemical or physical agent. Understood? Then agents that promote the proliferation of cells, agents that promote the proliferation of cells which have already undergo the genetic alterations, which already have undergone through genetic alterations, responsible for oncogenic transformation. Responsible for oncogenic transformation. These agents are called tumor promoters. They are known as what? Tumor promoters. So agents that promote the proliferation of cells which have already undergo the genetic change, the genetic transformation or alterations for oncogenic transformation, These agents are called tumor promoters. Some growth factors and hormones, they act as tumor promoters. There are some growth factors and hormones which are responsible or which act as tumor promoters. Then third is the cancer causing DNA or RNA viruses, which are known as what, tumor viruses, have been shown to be associated with oncogenic transformation. So cancer causing DNA or RNA viruses means tumor viruses. They have been shown to be associated with oncogenic transformation. Transformation for a normal cell into a cancerous cell if the regulation is upset. Transformation of a normal cell into a cancer cell if the regulation is upset, if the regulation is not favorable, then a normal cell, it gets transformed into a cancerous cell. So cancer causing DNA and RNA viruses like tumor viruses have been shown to be associated with oncogenic transformation. Transformation of a normal cell into a cancerous cell if the regulation is upset. Carcinogenesis. Now I will make you study, I'll tell you the properties of the cancerous cells, the different properties of the cancerous cells, and how carcinogenesis happens, okay? How the transformation of a normal epithelial or normal cell, it develops into a carcinoma. A proto-oncogene, it transforms, it gets mutated. To form oncogene, and this oncogene provides a positive feedback which suppresses the tumor suppressor gene. So when tumor suppressor gene, it doesn't come up with its effect, there is abnormal production of tumor cells because the contact inhibition loss of contact inhibition. So the proto-oncogenes, they are transformed into oncogenes. The conversion of proto-oncogenes into oncogenes is because of the alteration of DNA. Oncogenes, they basically suppresses the effect of tumor suppressor gene, which undergoes the production of abnormal or tumor cells, okay, when it helps in the, or it basically promotes the loss of contact inhibition. So in this way, the cell undergoes unregulated proliferative growth. Okay. Now, properties of cancerous cells. It includes uncontrolled proliferative ability, second, extracellular factors are not required for its overgrowth. Third, alteration in nucleocytoplasmic ratio, overgrowth and ability to invade new sites mean metastasis, angiogenesis. Angiogenesis means formation of new blood vessels. Nucleus becomes irregular with abundant granules, granular nucleus. There is increase in number of lysosomes. Lysosomes increases and mitochondria decreases. Right? There are around 13 features, and all these features are known as what? Dysplastic features. There are around 13 dysplastic features, 13 in number. Understood? More amount of melanin production, more amount of intracellular waste gets accumulated. Okay. Now, in the second picture, you can see a normal cell. It first initiates to form a cell with altered nucleus-cytoplasmic ratio. Okay, and the appearance of dysplastic features starts to appear. Okay, which further can get promoted to form a pre-neoplastic lesion or pre-neoplastic cells, which further, if gets undergoes the abnormal or uncontrolled proliferative growth, forms the neoplastic cells, which further undergo metastasis to form malignant tumor. The chemopreventive agents, they basically block the initiation by repairing the DNA, removing the telomeric sequences. Suppressing agents, they basically suppress the mitotic rate by either acting as a mitotic poison, which will break the spindle fibers so that mitosis cannot happen. So there are many ways. Then inhibition in case of metastasis, inhibition of invasion, angiogenesis, and metastasis is also a part of chemopreventive agents. Okay. So this part, inhibition of invasion, angiogenesis, and metastasis. Okay. Now coming to next, carcinogen. The positive agent of cancer is carcinogen. Chemical factor, tobacco. Betel chewing causes oral carcinoma. Heavy smoking like N-nitrosodimethylamine causes oral cancer, cancer of larynx and lungs. N-nitrosodimethylamine causes oral cancer, cancer of larynx and lungs. Combustion product of coal, pesticides, artificial flavoring agents, artificial sweetening agents like aspartame, synthetic food, flavor, hormonal imbalance. It also may act as a carcinogenic agent. Hormonal balance, when it gets altered because of any reason, so hormonal imbalance or estrogen excess causes breast cancer. Urinary bladder cancer is common in dye workers. Okay, so there are many carcinogenic agents. Okay, you can see. So these are the chemical agents or chemical factors like N-nitrosodimethylamine, which act as a cause for oral cancer, cancer of larynx and lungs. Tobacco, betel chewing causes oral cancer. Combustion product of coal, pesticides, artificial flavoring agents, sweetening agents like aspartame, synthetic food. Flavoring agents, hormonal imbalance, it may also cause cancer. Hormonal imbalance or estrogen excess causes breast cancer. Urinary bladder cancer is common in DIE workers. Now coming to next, chemical factors. The important carcinogens and the organs affected. Soot, it affects the organ, skin and lungs. Cigarette smoking and nitrosodimethylamine, lungs. Coal tar, 3,4 benzopyrene, it affects skin and lungs. Aflatoxin, a metabolic product of fungi, causes liver cancer. So carcinogens like soot, it involves or affects skin and lungs. Cigarette smoking and nitrosodimethylamine, lungs. Coal tar, 3,4 benzopyrene, it affects skin and lungs. And aflatoxin, it basically affects metabolic products of, it basically is extracted as a metabolic product of fungi, and it also affects liver. It affects liver. Then cadmium oxide, prostate gland, mustard gas, lungs. Mustard gas is responsible for lung cancer. Asbestos, lungs and larynx. Nickel and cadmium compounds, heavy metal intoxication, causes lungs and larynx cancer. Vinyl chloride, liver. Diethyl stilbestrol, vagina. Benzene, blood and bone marrow. Arsenic, liver, lungs and skin. So you have to remember the affected organ and the carcinogenic agents, especially 3,4 benzopyrene and nitrosodimethylamine, then aflatoxin, then arsenic, then diethyl stilbestrol causes vaginal cancer, arsenic causes liver, lungs and skin cancer, then vinyl chloride, liver, nickel and cadmium compounds, lungs and larynx, asbestos, lungs and larynx, mustard gas, lungs, and cadmium oxide, prostate. Okay. Now coming to next, physical factors. Physical factors like presence of sharp teeth. If the cusp of teeth is sharp, it gives a traumatic bite. You have also faced that whenever you are eating and if you're talking with someone during eating, the what will happen? The tongue or the mucosal membrane of cheeks, it comes in between the teeth, okay? Because the occlusion means setting of the maxillary and mandibular teeth, it is not happening proper, okay? So because of this, a trauma is developed, and if anyone is having a history of cerebral palsy or any psychological disorder, he or she constantly bites their cheek or tongue, which can lead to the traumatic cancer or tongue cancer. Kashmiri people keep kangri close to skin that causes skin cancer, and this skin cancer is called kangri cancer. The Kashmiri people, they keep kangri close to skin that causes skin cancer, and this skin cancer is called kangri cancer. Now radiation factors like cosmic rays, X-rays, gamma rays, UV rays, they cause cancer. There are 5 times more incidence of leukemia, I mean blood cancer, in Hiroshima and Nagasaki due to the radiation effect of nuclear bombing. So because of gamma rays, X-rays, UV rays, and cosmic rays, they cause the potential threat to cells as they ionize the DNA, they mutate the DNA, they alter the DNA, and they can be the part of potential carcinogenic agents. Understood? Now coming to next, biological factors. Biological factors include oncogenes, cancer-producing genes, and oncoviruses, which are RNA or DNA viruses, okay, which causes cancer. Like in case of HIV, in AIDS, so it can be a kind of oncovirus, like it gives Kaposi sarcoma, okay, as a complication in HIV suffering patients or AIDS suffering patients. So biological factors includes oncogenes. So these genes are basically cancer producing genes. They are mutated genes, okay? And the oncoviruses which causes cancer, like Kaposi sarcoma, okay? Understood? Now coming to next, investigation. So investigation is basically done through blood examination, okay? Through blood examination, detection of abnormal cells or cancerous cells in blood, okay? So through blood examination, understood? Detection of tumor markers. There are certain tumor markers like gamma interferons or alpha interferons, which act as a biological markers, okay, like fetoprotein in blood by blood examination. So detection of tumor by using different biological markers, okay, like fetoprotein, alpha interferons, gamma interferons, okay. Then blood examination involves the abnormal count of WBCs and the different stains. For example, in case of blood cancer, the abnormal production of WBCs may lead to a different type of stain or different pattern of stain being taken by the cells, which can gives a glimpse or which can gives an idea to pathologist, okay, which basically examine the microscopic slides and all for suspicion of a particular disease, okay. So from there it can be done, okay, the WBC count is abnormal, so it can be a cancer, okay, a blood cancer or a leukemia. Understood? Now, coming to next, biopsy. Biopsy is a cancerous tissue examination in which a part of the tissue is taken out, okay. So biopsy of tissue, it can be direct or it can be through endoscopy. It can be directly done or it can be through endoscopy. Studying the karyoplasmic index. If the karyoplasmic index is high, it means it is not a normal cell, it can be a cancerous cell. Fine needle aspiration cytology, fine needle aspiration cytology, and there is another term, fine needle aspiration biopsy. Okay, the fine needle aspiration cytology, it helps or it is a good procedure than the traditional biopsy, because biopsy, it basically involves a part of the tissue which is scratched out, okay, so that part becomes devoid of that tissue, okay. Or sometimes it is seen biopsy, it involves the use of different invasive tools like scalpel and all, which can promote the cancerous growth. Computed tomography, CT scan, magnetic resonance imaging, X-ray diffraction studies. Computed tomography. For CT, and for MRI is magnetic resonance imaging. Understood? So computed tomography, magnetic resonance imaging, they help us to provide a three-dimensional picture of the cancerous cells, cancerous tissue, okay? Pap smear. Pap smear, it is a cytological staining method which is used to detect the cervical carcinoma and also to detect the cytological character of the cancer, okay? Cytological staining. Modern techniques, it involves to detect the molecular changes that occur in cancer cells, that which enables in the early diagnosis of cancer. Okay, like monoclonal antibodies against cancer specific antigens are coupled to appropriate radioisotopes. These monoclonal antibodies for a particular cancer specific antigen, okay, when they are given, then these antibodies, they can proliferate, they can increase their number, and the part of the cancerous tissue is surrounded by all these antibodies. So when a radioactive tracer or a radioactive dye is injected, then that part, it basically, when visualized under the X-ray, so that part which is having high rate of unregulated proliferative cell division, it gets surrounded by monoclonal antibodies, and these monoclonal antibodies are given or dipped in a particular radioactive isotope. So that part basically emits certain wavelength or certain radiations which can be easily suspected as a color change on X-ray. So radioisotopy is done after injecting monoclonal antibodies. These antibodies are then used for detection of cancer. Okay. Mammography is a radiographic examination for breast cancer. Okay. So this is the investigation. Now, if a person is suffering from a cancer, so depending upon the site of cancer, the symptoms are there, but there are some possible common symptoms which are as follows. Cough or hoarseness of voice, in case of pharyngeal or lung cancer. Okay. Then change in digestive and bowel habits, appearance of hard, lumpy mass, unusual weight loss, body feels lethargic, and many more. There are many more symptoms, endless symptoms, okay, depending upon the site where cancer tissue is there. Now, treatment. Treatment involves surgical excision by removing the entire cancerous tissue if it is infected the lymph nodes, okay. So there is a TNM staging which is tumor size, then nodes involved, and then metastasis. So it is basically divided into three categories: the size of the tumor, nodes involved, lymph nodes involved, and metastasis. So this TNM staging basically help us to understood the stage of cancer, whether it is stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. So surgical excision is basically removing the entire cancerous tissue, but the removing of entire cancerous tissue lead to disfigurement of that body part, okay. Even after excision, surgical intervention, if some of the cancerous cells, they remain there by anyhow, so they can lead to further development of cancer, mean the chances of recurrence are very high. Then radiation, cobalt therapy, cobalt 60, X-ray radiations are given. These radiations, they destroy the rapidly dividing cells as they break the spindle fibers, or they mutate the oncogene. Chemotherapy, many anti-cancerous drugs like vincristine, vinblastine. Vincristine is obtained from a weed, Canthanthus roseus, Vinca rosea. Vinblastine is also obtained from Canthanthus roseus, Vinca rosea. Okay. So vincristine and vinblastine, they are basically obtained from a weed, Canthanthus rosea or roseus. Okay. So these are anti-cancer drugs. They are used in the treatment of leukemia. Cyclophosphamide, it inhibits the DNA synthesis in the cell cycle of cancerous cell, but it has side effects. So cyclophosphamide, inhibit the DNA synthesis in the cell cycle of cancerous cells, but also comes up with severe side effects. Okay. Immunotherapy, monoclonal antibodies and vaccine are given in it. One of the recent approaches of cancer treatment involves augmentation of natural cancer immunological defense mechanism. Monoclonal antibodies have been used in various ways, like, for example, radioimmunotherapy. The production of monoclonal antibodies and their attachment to the cancerous part of cancerous tissue can lead to early diagnosis and treatment as well. Like, for example, the monoclonal antibodies, they are basically added with a factor of natural or original cancer defense system. So for example, this is the monoclonal antibody MAB. It is attached with a factor which is responsible for maintaining the normal defense mechanism. And this is the cancer cell. Understood? So radioimmunotherapy is used for the treatment of cancer. Research is in progress to develop cancer vaccines, third generation vaccine. Most of the cancer are treated by combination of therapy like chemotherapy, radiotherapy, okay? Radiotherapy, radiation, anti-cancerous drug, chemotherapy, and then surgery. Okay? So these are the possible modes of treating the cancer. So my dear students, we have completed the part of the cancer. Now we will be going to start the addiction, drug and alcohol abuse in the next class. Till then, please watch the videos again and again so that you can have a better supremacy on all these topics. Till then, my dear students, take care of yourself. Bye bye. Stay safe. Stay at home.